Hello everyone and thank you for tuning in. I'm Tully and today we're taking a quick look at Democracy 3, brought to you by Positech Games, the minds behind Red Shirt, gratuitous space battles, and gratuitous tank battles. Now, let's do the obvious thing, options menu, okay? Not very good. Then again, for the kind of game that it is, I'm surprised it even has an options menu with these many options. Keep in mind, these things right down here, from dilemma to leaderboards, these actually do affect in-game stuff. They do in fact do that. So, yeah. One thing I don't like about this thing is no tooltips. Literally no tooltips anywhere in the options menu. I mean, I know what autosave is, I know what transitions are, I know what leaderboards are, I know what political I don't know what a political honeymoon is. I know what dilemmas and political capital are because I play the game, but I don't know what a political honeymoon is. You should explain that to me. Anyway, just increase that a tiny little bit. Reset tutorial. I should warn you right now, I did not... I played this game for like 2 hours. I did not do the tutorial at all. And you'll see what that means right now. See full screen. Okay. That's pretty much a simple options menu. You can click here for the website, you can click here for loading your game. Mods, I don't have any mods now. Manual, I did not use the manual. Compass. Last 50 election victory. As you can see, I played solely with France and UK, and I go liberal socialist a lot. Yeah. But you'll see how it works soon enough. Okay, let's just go here. Now, new game. How does this work? You have several countries to choose from. UK, France, Germany, United States, Canada, and Australia. Okay? As you can see here. But, move. Okay. The goddamn thing wasn't moving. Whatever. Now, each and every country does have some interesting little things. Like, yeah, population size, religion, internet users, poverty, and then you have some weird stuff. Like, I'm assuming it's... I don't know, for laughs, because you know I don't honestly think that croissant consumption really affects anything, nor does beer consumption or sausage consumption or whatever the hell. But technically, the kind of country that you're starting with does make certain decisions more difficult, other decisions more easy. That of course depends on the kind of population that we're dealing with, like ethnicity, major religious groups, stuff like that. Now, what this game is supposed to do, it's supposed to simulate a country. You're supposed to run a country as a political party. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how it works. Let's go France, because my best playthrough right now has been France. So here it is. Wow, something that I have to keep in mind. I can rewrite this, right? Okay. Every single time I start a new game and just go with it, I always end up with opposition party named the Jehovah Party. I don't know if that's on purpose. If it is, I don't know if it's unfortunate implications or just an in-joke. But I always ended up with a Jehovah Party. I ended up with like the Democratic Conservatives now. I don't even know. I'm just gonna put the Labour Party, because whatever. It'd be nice. Democratic Conservatives versus Democratic Conservatives. Okay. That's a Jehovah Party. Term length years. This is basically the number of years you can go before an election is called up, right? Let's just put 4. Term limit. I think this is how long you can play the game. Like, I think this is for how long you can play without the game ending and then your score being tallied or the hell. I like going no limit. Because fuck democracy, obviously. I'm kidding. I just go no limit because I just like experimenting. Now, you can turn on hurricanes or earthquakes on or off. By default, you do have some stuff done. For instance, you don't have hurricanes and earthquakes in France, but if you go for United States, you do get earthquakes and hurricanes. And if you go for Great Britain, as you can see here, you do get monarchy. Now, do I have compulsory voting anywhere? Let's see, Canada. I don't know if they have compulsory voting anywhere. I don't think so. I think compulsory voting is literally what that is. Another thing, as you can see here, another thing I don't really like, and I say it again as I said in the options menu, no tooltips! No tooltips! I mean, seriously, I can ascertain what these things mean. Like, no limit means I can play for whatever the hell I want. Monarchy, I know what that means. I don't know. Without tooltips, I don't know what difference it will make. I honestly don't know what difference it will make. My playthroughs with Britain and France were absolutely equal. Besides some random event that really didn't influence anything. Compulsory voting, I don't know what difference that makes, because everyone always goes and votes for me, so yeah. Earthquakes and hurricanes, I never even used them, so let's just do that. Again, I don't know what difficulty does. I don't know what innate socialism does. I don't know what innate liberalism does. And I don't know what political apathy does. Like, I know what socialism, liberalism, and on some aspects political apathy are. But what do they do? Does political apathy affect the number of voters who go to vote? Does innate liberalism and innate socialism increase the facility by which people actually accept socialist and liberalist decisions? I don't know. It doesn't tell you. You have to literally go. You have to go tinker with things and hope to God you'll find the answer. I sure as hell didn't. And is that difficulty? I don't know what difficulty does. I play with difficulty 100. I play with difficulty 0%. I play with difficulty 200%. I saw literally no difference. Besides a small, different. Basically, the only difference I saw was you get less voters in the beginning. That's it. That's literally it. I'm just gonna go 100%. And another thing, why would you change any of this? Seriously, I don't know what these things do. So yeah, work on that. This is a full release, I believe. This is not a beta. This is not alpha. This is full release. Tooltips. Use them. You get these weird stuff like setting up biased academic groups. I don't know if you can see them. Kind of contrasty. Filling ministerial expense. It's like what the Sims do before you load up a game. Actually, your election victory. Welcome to your job. Now, 6 major stuff you got to take into consideration. Gross domestic product or GDP, unemployment, crime, poverty, education, health. Begin term of office. Now, allow me to go through this frickin' interface. Okay? Let's start up here in the middle. Now, here you do get tooltips. Here you actually do get tooltips. Hooray! Each turn, as you can see here, one turn takes 3 months. This bar shows progress over the next election, 20 turns. As you can see here, this of course is affected by the number of term months or term whatever that you choose. If you choose 5 years, of course, let's see, 5 times 12, 5 times 12, 5 times 12, 210 goes 1, so 60 divided by 3. Actually, I chose, yeah, okay. It's 5 years makes 20 turns. Okay. Income. This is the number of income you get in billions of euros, I'm assuming. This is your expenditure, so currently you have a positive income. Okay, that's good. This is your political capital. Oh, great, tooltips. You can read that. Basically, your cabinet gives you, your ministers give you political capital. Political capital can be used to adjust sliders in the various white thingies you can see here. Okay, loyal members of your cabinet, yeah, you'll see why. See why. Security briefing, our intelligence briefing. These are factions that you will see. I'm assuming that these are affected by difficulty because I haven't had the pleasure of being affected by any of these. Apparently, they can in fact instigate plots against you. Of course, I've had my position threatened, or so they said, by capitalist groups. Nothing ever came of that. Let's see. Polling. It's a bit weak. Do you think so? Okay. As you can see, this is where you can find opinions of your things. Changes, as you can see. This pretty much tells you how much your people will like their policies, how much people will like you. It's a focus group. Basically, is how it works. Technically, every single person in your country is an independent voter. This guy does not like me. He does not like me at all. Wow. Okay. Approval 100%. That is dumb. No one has ever in a democracy 100% approved of the government. God damn. Let's see. Basically, every person in your country is supposed to be a combination of different stuff. Like this guy. So, like this girl. Socialist, commuter, religious, wealthy, conservative, and everyone. Everyone means, yeah, whatever. This girl, socialist, commuter, liberal, trade unionist, environmentalist, wealthy, youth, as you can see there. And you can get a multitude of information up there, which frankly I never consulted ever. Ever. I never went into this thing ever again, ever. Okay? I never clicked this, and I always was elected, okay? This will be on my list of what's wrong with this game. As you can see here, this is how people like you. Next, expenditures. As you can see here, that's a nice little I like this pie chart. I really do. It's a pretty nice lowdown, as you can see here. I mean, it's pretty much detailed. Most of my income comes from income tax, unfortunately. But I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna show you a save game I have with friends, and you'll see charts, credit rating, BBB, income, debt. I have debt apparently. Not that I don't know affects anything apparently. Income, debt. Honestly, I never really took any of this into consideration because there really isn't an express objective with this game, as in there isn't really any set win condition. As long as you have no limit, you can just keep playing as long as you get elected. That's the point. That's it. So unless you want to go for a specific economically related objective, this is not going to do you anything. Next. Policy ideas, because you might start with a lot of these things and you think this might be a lot, but keep in mind you can institute a lot of stuff, and a lot of this stuff, yeah, as you can see here, a lot of crap. Okay, this of course requires political capital to institute. If you institute this, you can change it freely. For instance, if I go here, I can only change it or raise it or lower it or cancel it according to my political capital. But if I institute something, I can raise or lower it at my will in the first turn that I instituted it at free. Okay, so basically you only pay for the initial price. However, the next turn it goes up to normal price. Let's see here. Achievements, as you can see here. Economic miracle. You have shown exceptional skill in managing economic affairs of the nation. This will go in the bad things about this game. Cabinet ministers, as you can see here. Come on. Okay, apparently I can't see my people. Whatever. Political affairs minister, as you can see here. This is the political capital per turn they give you. This type. This is what minister they are. You shuffle cabinet. You can fire a minister at will, and then hire it again. Keep in mind, loyalty, experience, and effectiveness does in fact affect stuff. Not as much as I would like, but it does. Next. Is this parties, as you can see here. Okay, I might have to add, I never ever used any of these buttons except for the policy button. Okay, any of these. I'll explain why. Down the middle, the various types of voters you get and how much they like you. I have to say, capitalists never like me because I always go for a socialist utopia where everyone is happy. Okay. Neither do religious, because I tend to put a lot of emphasis on evolution and disregard religious stuff. That's just me. How it works is, everything is divided in sections. There's foreign policy, welfare, economy, tax, public services, law and order, and transport. And a lot of these, as you can see here, are divided. Now, the blue stuff, you can change. They're pretty much just modifiers, as you can see here. This is wages. This is what happens to the wages. This is what causes changes to the wages. And this, as you can see here, are the effects. The red stuff are bad effects. So basically stuff that's going very, very wrong. Like here, pollution causes the environment. It might be green, right? But that just means it's green. It's positively contributing to it. Like if you just mouse over it, as you can see here, red lines mean negatively affect. Yellow lines mean, green lines positively affect. So basically, that my environment is so bad, it's positively contributing to pollution, and the overall speed of the arrows indicates just how much it is contributing. This, of course, will affect environmentalist opinion of you, overall health, and it positively influences membership with environmentalists. So yeah, you might want to fix that. There's a lot of stuff in competitive economy. I currently have organized crime in my hands. Okay, typically the ones that do cause, like the one thing I need to do to stop organized crime is just to increase my intelligence services and just keeping it there, and that's it. And now the green stuff is stuff you can actually change. Okay? This is stuff you can actually move about, as you can see here. For instance, let's go science funding. This is the science funding. This is a small fluff. Popularity with voters. No one really cares about this. Implementation delay 4 turns. That means that the maximum time for this thing to take into effect is 4 turns. As you can see here, I can just change this. As you can see, the cost is going way up. You change, as you can see here. Technically, it's not what it says over here that matters. It's what the actual value that matters, as you can see. But it's a small piece of fluff, as you can see here. It goes from test tubes to microscopes, spectral microscopes, and particle accelerators. And for using political capital, you can see. And now, 4 turns from now, I will have particle accelerators for my country's various scientists. And then you can have a multitude of stuff, like maternity leave. Let's see here, what is this? Border control, let's just put this down to passport checks. It doesn't really matter what it says here, it's just an indicator, but it is an indicator. Like, it is an indicator of how far you're going. However, what does matter is the actual value, as far as I'm aware of. As far as I'm aware of. And that's pretty much the game, right there. And your job is to get elected. I mean, technically, this is kind of like Dwarf Fortress in that there isn't really a objective to this game. I mean, beyond the one that you already use yourself. Like, you can institute an objective to become a socialist liberal utopia like me, or a capitalist, or a purely capitalist society, or an uber conservative police state, which I tried doing and failed miserably at it. I honestly think that there's a bias towards socialism in this game, and it's why there's a slider for innate socialism and not a slider for innate capitalism. I honestly think there's a bias towards that, because going full socialist is extremely easy, even on very hard difficulties, and going full capitalist and full conservative, very, very hard. People will not like you. People will not like you at all. Let's go here. Quit the main menu. As you can see here, most of my stuff has been down here, socialist and liberal, for one reason. Now, let's go for the bad stuff about this game. France. I'm going to load my game as France, okay? Before I load this, I should tell you one thing. I know next to nothing about socioeconomics, economics, socialist policies. I know nothing about politics or anything surrounding it. Nothing. What I did with France was pick it up, 100% difficulty, just normal sliders, no limit on terms, and what I did was take first-grader assumptions on how countries worked, implement them, and it worked! And you will see why. Look at this! There is no unemployment, no crime. Obviously, the sliders don't go lower than this. This is literally as low as it goes. My GDP is maxed out. My health is not maxed out, but practically maxed out. Health maxed out. Education maxed out. There is no poverty, no crime, no unemployment. I have a 68.87 billion in surplus. 97% of people say yes. And this is with a global economy in recession, and it has a negative effect on our GDP. And my GDP is maximum. I mean, what the hell? Please explain to me, okay? And this is where it starts with the bad stuff about this game. This game is not random at all. This game is not random. And what I mean is, if you take a country and you adopt a strategy, it will have a particular effect. If you uninstall the game, reinstall the game, wipe all the saves, and do the exact same country, exact same strategy, exact same context, you will get the exact same frickin' response. There is no randomness to this game. As soon as you find a strategy that tells you where to go, where you want to go, that's it. There is no replay value. You won. That's it. And I know that this is supposed to be one, but imagine I want to create a society, like I said, a socialist liberal utopia, or a liberal socialist utopia. And I want to do that. And I found a strategy that let me do that. Bam, there you go. I can't replay this game anymore. I have found the way to get there. There's literally no other way to get there. It's there. I got there. There's no replay value. The only replay value in this game, as it stands right now, is you try out different political approaches. Instead of going socialist, you go liberal. Socialist, you go capitalist. It's liberal, you go conservative. But like I said, it's very difficult to go conservative and still have a comfortable margin of election, like I do. 97%. 97%. No one ever in the history of the world, in an actual democracy, gets elected with 97%. What the hell is this? This isn't a goddamn country. I've brainwashed my people, I'm pretty damn sure. And now there's this. Dilemmas and random events. As you can see here, minus 0.10 for everyone, minus 0.25 for conservatives, minus 0.20 for religious. This doesn't matter at all. By the time the elections come around, everyone's going to forget about this. And even right now, it doesn't really matter. These random events, as it were, don't really matter. As you can see here, okay? Motorists hate me. Religious people hate me. As you can see here. Conservatives are starting to hate me. Everyone seems to not like me. And yet, bam, popularity. If I was elected today, it would be a landslide. And this is the problem I have with this game. Is I don't think this correctly simulates democracy at all. How can we just look here? Okay, just look here. Focus group, policies, you can see here. Okay, changes. No, where's the economics one? First is economic miracle. I did that in like 5 turns. What the hell? Crime-free utopia, same thing. One-party state. Okay, what? What? One-party state? Poverty eradicated? Egalitarian miracle? Sovereign wealth? Full employment? Listen, I appreciate the work you put into this. This is a rather complex game if you really want to get into it, but... What? Just what? Alright, I understand. I honestly don't understand. But it's just the charts. See, I have no debt. I have 1,707.77 billion euros in reserve, and it's just gonna go up. Because look at my income. My income. What's my income? Let's see here. Income 448. Let's see what my income is again. Let's see here. 68 point, almost 70 billion euros in the middle of an economic recession. What the hell? I understand the trouble you went to making this game. It's really, really complicated if you want to get into it, but then again, it isn't. It's overly simplified. People react exactly like the game says they will react. That's not how real life works. I don't think I have to explain to you why that is. If you want to get really in-depth and try out different real-life political strategies and political approaches, you can buy this game and it'll be fun for a couple of days maybe, but this game has little to no replay value. And I honestly think that the way they implement the policies is not realistic at all. Because look at the amount of tax I have. Let's see, I have a tax on airline tax, flat tax, mansion tax, internet tax, corporate tax, marijuana tax, petrol tax, car tax, CO2 tax. I have taxes for everything, okay? And everyone's more than fine to go and vote for me. No one's complaining. No one is evading their taxes. No one's doing anything. Everyone's happy. Everyone's fine. No one's complaining. As you can see here, let's see. No one is even trying. Like, religious people hate me and motorist people hate me. No plots against my person. Literally no plots against my person. I am currently the master of my country. If elections were today, I'd win with 97% of the votes. If elections were in 3 years, I'd win with 97% of the votes. I did this with absolutely no knowledge of socioeconomics, social policies, socialism, capitalism, conservatism, and liberalism. I don't know anything. I took first grader assumptions of how countries worked, right? Did it, and apparently it worked. And for some people, that might go, yeah, that's amazing. No, it isn't. It isn't. Because apparently, according to this, if I ran a country, if I was in charge of Portugal right now, I'd win. I'd take my country out of the economic shithole and turn it into a world superpower. And that's the problem is, this isn't a democracy. This is you as a tyrant. You can freely choose policies that your country follows, and the only bad things, the only repercussion you'll have is whether or not you get elected. That's it. As far as I'm aware of, having a massive debt doesn't really change anything beyond popularity. That's it. That's the bad stuff. That's the thing I really don't understand is why the only repercussion for your actions is people liking you or not. Okay, that's it. You can put your country into massive debt, and the only difference will be people will not vote for you and you will lose the election. You can turn your country into a police state. That's it. There are no international repercussions. No one will ever... If you turn your country into a police state with literally no liberties at all, no one will say anything. I tried. Okay? I tried. I closed off my country to the exterior, turned it into a radically religious police state, and apparently no one else in the world gave a shit. This is you running a very small, localized, absolute monarchy where you have absolute control of everything and everyone. And then when it comes to your ministers, it doesn't really matter. Look at this. Maximum loyalty, except for this one. He doesn't like that because my foreign policy is crap. But still, my ministers love me. They will never desert me. They don't really do anything because I work for them. The only thing they do give me is political capital and a small increase. I think it's a small increase in relationship with a particular, as you can see, political relationship with a political group. That's a political group they represent. But that's it. This is not a democracy. Like, the opposing party will always start with a lot less votes than you. They will never do anything against you. There will never be any referendums. Never be any actual voting for the laws. Never be anything. This is you deciding as a tyrant, as a despot, what you want to do for your country. And the only thing keeping you in check are regular elections. That's it. This isn't a democracy. It's a complex, in-depth game, yes, but I feel that it's overly simplified, doesn't deliver what it says it is, because this URL isn't a democracy, and honestly, I feel like it could have more replay value, and it doesn't. That's why I'd say, if you want to have a good time, if you want to have fun for a couple of days, you want to try out economic approaches, or whatever the hell. This thing does have an educational license, I think. It's $99 or something, or your regional equivalent. I think it might unlock extra stuff, and when it comes to educational component, this thing is very good. I have to notice that. This thing is a very good educational component, teaching people how stuff works. Let's see here. For instance, immigration, as you can see here, affects foreign relations, racial tension, wages, unemployment, is affected by health, is affected by unemployment, is affected by health. Like, you can click anything, as you can see here. Like productivity. This is a massive web, and everything is interconnected. Literally everything is interconnected, as you can see here. And as an educational component, this thing is good. It is great, actually. But as a simulator, as a democracy simulator, not really. That's what I'm saying. As a great educational component, if you want to try it out and mess about with your country and try to do ridiculous stuff, like a socialist, conservative, uber conservative socialist state, you can try that. You can. I think it is possible to do that. I don't know. It might be. Fiddling with the controls enough. But I feel like it could deliver more. I honestly do. I feel like it could deliver more. I feel like it could be more random. Let's just click the next button. I feel like here, ban animal testing, right? There's nothing. You alone, you can choose to ban animal testing completely or don't change it. Normally in a country, this takes months, if not years, of deliberation between everyone for this to be implemented. But here, you can just do this. Look, ban it. There you go. There you go. That's it. That's all it is. And then, it's minimal. Right? Let's look at environmentalists. Right? Environmentalists. Where is it? Bad animal testing. You see this? You see this? Plus 8%. This is nothing. This is nothing compared to everything else. Okay? Absolutely nothing. These random events, as it were, don't really matter. That's the point. That's what I'm saying. Random events don't really matter. The game is not random at all. Things have the same effect over and over and over and over and over again, and as soon as you find a winning strategy for whatever it is you're trying to do, that's it. You can't replay the game. You've won. End of story. That's it. So, if you want to try it out. This is a subjective opinion, I might add. This game does have strong points and a lot of good strong points. Educational wise, it's an amazing tool. As a democracy simulator, as a country simulator, a democratic country simulator, which is what it touched to be, I think it could deliver more. That's what I'm saying. So thank you for tuning in, and please stay tuned in to the next video. Goodbye.